This conference will now be recorded.
So that's where I'm getting.
I mean, I know the EOS. So maybe it's recorded. Maybe email it out.
People always think maybe these are not good times. The problem is I scheduled our meeting around this training.
Right.
So maybe we'll do the training and then the meeting after. Moving forward, I tried to get the training at the end of it.
Right.
But maybe we start with the training.
Yeah.
Do it that way.
All right, we're here. We've got only a few people because we lost traction when I didn't know you had to cancel at 2 o'clock, so we lost some people, but we can get started. And we've got Mark Neely in the house and Stephanie Forrest and Ray Lockery here. So
Okay,
you're
good.
up.
All right, and we're recording this too, so we can send out the replay when we get finished, okay?
Awesome.
All right, guys. Hope you're having a great day today. Mark, good to see you, man. Liking that haircut. Haircut's looking good, brother. It's looking real good. All right, so here's what we're talking about today. I asked Carey Ann, you know, when we're coaching a person, I want you to think of this cycle that we're working through. And I mainly want you thinking about your missing structures. We always start with the explanation of services. How do you explain your services in a world-class way that is compelling so that a person can take action fast? It compresses the sales cycle. You know within 15 to 30 seconds if you have a legitimate person or not. And so we always start with how you explain your services. We then shift to, once we have a good EOS, most mortgage originators do not have a good EOS. They don't have a compelling way to explain their services. They don't know how they do it different than other people. They don't give good credibility indicators of who they've done it for, and they don't have a good call to action. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But I want you thinking about, we start there. We then move to the selling system. How do you generate leads? How do you push people through a pipeline? How do you build deep and entrenched networks? How do you attack a day? Okay, with high value activity versus low value activity. You know, we then move to how you follow up. Do you have a great 7-touch follow-up system? Once a person indicates interest, do you understand the difference between linear and nonlinear touches? Can you bring a person to a buying decision? You know, do you know how to challenge a prospect to get them to think? Okay, we then move from there to how do you extract referrals? And the National Association of Realtors says that every transaction should be worth 5.7 referrals over the lifetime of the consumer, but 98% of mortgage professionals and real estate professionals never follow up with the client once they put them in a home. So I want you to think about how much money is lost in one of these 4 areas. So if I were asking you today, out of those 4 areas, Mark, where would you tell me that your biggest missing structure is? How you explain your services, how you work a selling system, how you follow up, how you extract referrals?
I think extract referrals.
Okay. Do you have a touch system after you put a person in the house?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
You sound too.
And the conversation's dead.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that got awkward.
Yeah,
Like,
sorry.
Okay. Does it work? Do you feel like it works?
I do. I mean, but it doesn't work as much as I would hope that it does. I mean, I try to ask for referrals, ask for a review afterwards, but I ask for referrals during the process. And then, you know, now I'm talking about clients, so end user. So and then I call them 3 times a year, email them once a week, and mail to them once a month. All
right. Do you have a customer events for them to come back and see you face to face?
I do not. That would be great to do.
Well, I'm a big believer in activation points where we're creating different events. That's why when you see me do, like, you know, couples events, kids events, faith-based events. This Sunday I did a men's event. And what I'm trying to do is create energy for people to come back together and just constantly stay in the flow and proximity of their lives. So I want you thinking about where your missing structures are, because I believe if you wanted to get, let's say, 15 more deals per year, I believe we can find 15 more deals per year in one of those key areas. We don't go, like for example, statistics tell us 7 to 15 touches 80% of the time when a person is interested. Most people in real estate tell me they go 2 to 3 touches. Most real estate agents go 2 to 3 touches. So how much money is really being lost in not having a great 7 to 15 touch follow-up system? And how much is lost by not having a service after the sale to generate those 5.7 referrals over the lifetime of the consumer? I think it's a good case to be made that a person could pick up 5 to 15 more deals a year if they just became world class at those two things. Okay. Now, what about the gentleman in the back with the green shirt on? How you doing, sir? You way back there in the back row Baptist seats. Where out of those 4 areas, where do you think your biggest missing structure is?
I would say the most difficult for me would be the follow-up.
Okay. Do you have is that when someone's interested in your services? Do you have a good 7-touch system?
No.
Okay. Well, I saw a stat yesterday that said 80% of the time, it takes 80% of sales are made on the 5th plus contact. 80% of the sales are made on contact number 5 or more. So in my opinion, when a person raises their hand and says they're interested in your services, they're basically, you got to keep going the distance. You got to keep doing discovery. You got to keep feeding them more information. You got to keep overcoming their fear and uncertainty. So in my opinion, if you said, look, we're going to build a great 7-touch system before the sale, I think you need a great 7-touch system after the sale. And in those 2 areas, I think there's some legitimate pickup of, like I said, 5 to 15 deals per year. Okay. Carey Ann, where do you see a lot of people struggle in those 4 areas? And obviously we're going to come back to the EOS, so everybody has a world-class EOS, but where do you think they struggle the most?
Well, I think we were just talking about it earlier. I do think the follow-up is key. I think we get sidetracked. We forget, Stephanie and I have a great meeting with so-and-so, and then it just kind of fizzles out, So I do think, creating the consistency and a true follow-up, not only for our customers, but our referral partners is key, because on the customer side, we've done a great job. We took their app, they approved, and then we kind of just let them die out there. We need to stay on them even 2 times a week, I think, to even get them to make sure that they're going to stay with us, because what changes them from wanting to go to another lender? We don't know, right?
Well, I want you to remember 2 words, proximity and flow. What I see a lot of people do is they don't stay close enough to the target. I call this tagging. We tag a prospect. If Mark was one of our prospects and he indicates interest in our services, we're going to stay as close as we can in proximity to him in as many ways as we can during that cycle. Okay. And so that could mean text messaging, videos. It could mean I write blogs. It could mean using videos. It could mean multiple people call him, like I'll call him, somebody else on my team will call him, I'll have my best client call him. We're just going to keep tagging him and proximity. And then when we get to touch number 7, we're going to go, Mark, have you noticed how hard we worked to earn your business? Has anybody else worked this hard? We know the stats tell us most people don't follow up like that. So they're going to say, no, man, you guys have been relentless in your follow-up. And I say, we believe in rewarding effort. Don't you believe the same things we do? And they go, yeah, man, we do. And so it seems like you want to do this. It seems like you want to go with us, but you're stuck on one thing. Am I right about that one thing? What is that one thing? So when you're thinking about these things, when we go 7 touches, we have that kind of conversation with people, and we say, it seems like you want to do it, but you're stuck on one thing. Am I right about that one thing? One thing could be your loyalty to your current mortgage originator. It could be the relationship you've had. It could be something that we don't know, but I'm trying to figure out what is the true objection on why you won't go with me if you reward effort. And sometimes it's just, give me just a little bit more time. I'm sold on you. I just need to work through this. But I think this concept of tagging people, and then the concept of once you have that client, how do you bring them back to you on a consistent basis to where they're seeing you face to face, they're exchanging. This month in Monster Producer, we're covering this concept of why do people come to you for your hard skill? Now imagine having 600 families coming to you per year. And then how are you building a network where those people can exchange energy with each other? and they're coming back to you as the energy source. So is that customer appreciation events? Now, I like to do things for the family. I like to do things for the kids. I like to do things for the couples. I like to do things for their faith. And the reason I'm doing that is I know I'm not going to get everybody. I just know I want different doors for them to come back home. Does that make sense? I want 10 doors for them to walk in, not one door. So, you know, we attracted potential clients this weekend to when I did the couples events that's never come to see me coach. We attracted men on Sunday night to my house that have never been in our coaching program before, you know, and it's just like, it just keeps reinforcing in my mind why we need to have different doors for people to come in, because I don't know what door they want to come in, right? So to me, the service after the sale, we try to do X number of events per year with our clients. We try to identify like what I call the intimate 10, which are 10 other people that if I just spent more time with them, they would bump up or they would help us out. So when you're thinking about this follow-up, it seems like that is a big structure that we really need to work on here, is this concept of $1 million follow-up prior to the sale and then after the sale. Okay. All right, what about the young lady in the back? You know I'm not going to let you out without telling me what your missing structure is.
Yeah, so extracting referrals, I think, is probably the biggest one for me as well. Just doing a really great job and then maybe not getting my name passed on, or hearing that maybe your best friend had bought a house or your hairdresser bought a house, and you know we have that intimate relationship with them, but it wasn't something that you can bring out. Also, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So whenever you talk about doing your 10 different doors, right? Do you do those with other people? Like, do you think that it would be good? Like, I'm doing a realtor, like a craft thing just for her women clients, but then I want to do a talk golf thing in November for the couples. So, I mean, do you think it's better to do it with somebody so that you have that warm? So, meaning all of the clients that are going to be coming, I'm not done the loan for. So, but they're her clients that I'll be introduced to.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea to partner with people. And here's what I like. I like you bring in your best clients, an insurance person bringing their best 15 to 20 clients, a title person bringing their 15 to 20 best clients. I like commingling those and exposing them to each other, you know, so there's synergy there. So, yeah, I like doing them myself. I like doing them with partners. I just want to constantly create something in the future to push people to, which gives us a reason to call out. You know, like I know it's kind of awkward calling and checking on your clients all the time. Like, how's it going? How's the house going? How's the more? If you create something in the future, it gives you a reason to call. Gives you a reason to say, hey, we're doing something for couples. We're doing something for kids this weekend. We're doing something for this. Come on and check it out. Now, they're not going to come to all these things. Some people are going to come to this one, and some people are going to come to this one, and some people are going to come to this one. But it's very important. That's why the Realtor Blaze is important. It's every month. It's a reason to call out. It's a reason to invite. Now, you start cross-pollinating. Like, we had 2 people in Monster Producer today that were at the Realtor Blaze that are looking at coming into Monster. That's a win for me. And that drives up your value to me, because now we're cross-pollinating networks and we're pushing them to you. You're pushing them to us. So there's more events we can do together that could be a win for both of us there. Carey and I have talked about that. So I just think when you're looking at your follow-up, here's what I would tell you. The numbers tell me for every 30 people you talk to, there's only 4.8 that are going to be interested immediately. That's roughly 16%. And these numbers never lie, guys. They never lie. I'm telling you, if I see 1,000 people in a week, 16% of them are typically interested quick. So when you're thinking about this concept of how much volume you have to go through, give me another perspective. For every 350 people you talk to, only 52.8 are going to be interested. So look at how many you have to go through to get those 52.8, which is why I believe our salespeople should be making 80 phone calls a day. Can they make 80? I don't know, but they can try to make 80. We try to do 40 in the morning, 40 in the afternoon. We track how many people we left voicemails with, how many people we're pushing to an event, how many people actually said no, they're not interested. You know, we need that kind of volume to go through a lot of people to find the best people. So when I say you got to be relentless in your follow-up, I mean you got to be relentless in your follow-up here. And you got to go through mass numbers of people to be able to get the number that you want, okay?
You got to be unique with it, too. Be unique with your follow-up. So, like, I'm told all the time that certain lenders call certain people and they get annoyed because they get the same phone call every Monday, right, Steph? So being unique. the call, the text, the mail, the prize, you know, multiple different things. And eventually one of those is going to hook them, you know. That kind of thing.
Yeah, we do a lot of video. To your point, we do a lot of video follow-ups where we just put our phone in front of our face, and a lot of people say, "Man, you know, nobody else is doing it, or that was unique, or that was creative." Or we like, I write blogs and we send those out, and we send videos out, and we send. I call it tagging. You just got to be creative, but you can't just say the same thing. Are you ready to go? Do you have a question? You know, I mean, people just do such a pitiful job following up in what they say. You want to bring people to a decision. You want to make them think. You want to challenge their thought processes. Like, hey, I know you mentioned to me that you were unhappy with your other mortgage originator. Well, you know, here's 2 strategies I'm going to use with you. Like, when you bring something, right? Don't just bring a phone call. Like here's 3 strategies I'm using with another real estate agent that is really working. Here's 2 things we're doing that I would use with you. Here's a new way to look at this. I think that's what, when I ask real estate agents what they want from their mortgage originators, here's what they say. I want them to help me become a person of interest. So don't forget this. They don't just want the cupcakes and the food and the, here's what, if I was a real estate agent, here's what I want you to do. Help me build a brand. Help me become somebody in the world. Help me drive more people to me. Help me become a person of interest. And when you do that, your value to me is exponentially grown. Help me build a network of people. So let's do events together. You know, help me expand my database. I just got a database list a minute ago of 54,000 people. And I got it through a strategic partner I had that I gave them my content. And I said, all I want in exchange are the leads. I don't want any money. So I was just able to hand my sales team 54,000 email addresses and leads, all because I gave them something. Like, I said, hey, I'm going to give you my content. You can have Monster Producer. I don't want any money. I just want every name and every email address. So these strategic partners, how valuable is that to me to be able to get that? So I want you so let me close with this. If I was going to a real estate agent, I would say there's 6 strategies I'm going to use to help drive up your brand. Here's strategy number 1. Here's strategy number 2. Here's strategy number 3. Here's strategy number 4. And I would give hard strategies. And I would say, now I want to meet with you, you know, once a month to cover these strategies. I want to meet with you once a quarter to cover these strategies. And we're going to tackle number 1, number 2. And I would take like a concept Carey in from my book, Person of Interest. And I would sit there and I would take and carve out, and I would just call it, this is my plan to make you famous. This is my plan to help you become famous. And if I can help you become famous, we believe status sales. We believe the people that get the most attention win. We're gonna go in this to try to get you as much attention as we can. And you can take this strategy and multiply it to any real estate agent you sit down with. That's really what they want from you, is they want a vested partner. You know, you guys know, everybody knows you get the job done. They know you get the loans done. They know you're quick. They know you're good. How do you take that to level 2? And I think it's take the strategies you've used to become people of interest, share those strategies with me. Okay? Share those strategies with me. Okay? Does anybody have any questions?
Well, that seems like I have a question. So 6 strategies that you can use to build a realtor's brand. That seems daunting, just to be honest. I mean, so.
Well, think of it like this, Mark. That's a great question. Think of it like this. Strategy 1 is we're going to do showcase events. I'm going to show you how to do a great event, or how to do. Strategy number 2, you and I can work together on coming up with a world-class explanation of services. So when you do talk to people, it's world-class. Strategy 3 is I'm going to show you how to work a database.
Okay.
Strategy 4 is I'm going to help you. We're going to build a 7-touch follow-up together. Okay. Strategy 5 is we're going to work on a campaign together to drive 125 referrals in 90 days. And it's almost like we're becoming accountability partners with each other too. Okay. Strategy number 6 is I'm going to show you how to become a person of interest on social media. And that could be you two go to an event about, you know, how to leverage social media at a higher level. I'm looking for just ways that I can pull people in and engage with them. But I just believe bringing strategy to the table is important.
So I have a question because Carey is really good at this, and it is not making other agents jealous because they think if you do it for one, you have to do it for all. So how like when you're posting pictures and social media and everything of one agent, and all the other agents are friends on your Facebook and or your Instagram or whatever, and they get to see that, like how do you not make them feel not included?
Well, here's what I think. When you're good at what it is you do, I call that a hard skill. People are coming to you. Everybody recognizes that there's going to be a lot of people coming to you. And are some feelings going to get hurt? Yes, they are going to get hurt along the way because that's just human nature. It's like, well, why are they getting a bunch of attention? I like the concept of the top 25. What I try to do is carve out 25 real strong relationships. And that's kind of my golden circle of people that I spend the most time with. I promote the most because I believe you can make $1 million a year with 25 people if they're the right 25. I have a hard time believing I can build relationships with 400 people if I just call them once a quarter. So I philosophically disagree with some of the coaching that's out there that says, well, just a person in your database, call them once a quarter, talk to them about their family, talk to them about their occupation, talk to them about their friends. I believe my strategy is to go deep with 25 people and build a real solid 25 people. And those are kind of my go-to people. And I believe those people will bring you a minimum of 3 referrals a year. That's 75 new referrals a year out of just 25 people. But when you're posting, know this, some people are going to get their feelings hurt. It's just human nature but that shouldn't stop you from doing it. Does that make sense? That shouldn't stop you from doing your thing. I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be concerned about if it's going to hurt some people's feelings or not. I mean, that's the way you make a living is by going out there and servicing people. You need to service more people to make more money.
Somebody told me one time, focus on the fans. I like that. I thought that was a good quote. In other words, if you are following up with people and some people don't want to get, they don't open your tab, or they unsubscribe from you. I'm sure you can appreciate this. I'm sure some people just unsubscribe. Well, they're not responding to that touch, but they may respond to a different touch. So don't be hurt or offended that they unsubscribe to your emails, but they just may get too many emails. They may be a high-level person or whatever job where they're dealing with a massive amount of email, or they just don't like it. So whatever it is, they may not come to your event. They may like the emails. So it just depends.
Well, in today's world, you're exactly right. I've got a friend that's a big-time body language expert. Here's what he said. Everything we've learned about body language is wrong. It's not true when a person looks down and to the left that they're lying. It's not true. And here's the point of that. Just because they unsubscribe doesn't mean they're not watching you on Facebook. Doesn't mean they're not watching your videos. Doesn't mean they're not interested. Does that make sense? You got to understand, my point is I'm going to go through so much volume in the world. I'm going to go through so many people that there's going to be people fall off, people jump on board, people want to quit, it's just a pure volume game of how many people we can go through, because for every 350, there's 52 serious people. That's kind of how I look at it. So I think you got to remember, big time monsters go through a lot of people. So, and some people were valuable for a season of life, but they're not valuable for the next season, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That's good. All right, I'm going to give you an assignment, Carey, and for you guys to work on prior to our next session. I'm going to do one of these. I want to come live there and be physically with you because I think it would carry a lot of weight. I want you to go to work on your explanation of service. I want you to revisit that, bring it back and start working on the framework of what you believe, why you believe it, what you do, how you do it different, who you're doing it for, and let's get really good at that so everybody's good and confident in when they're making their outbound calls and doing that.
Okay. Love it.
Thank you. Hey, thank you guys for showing up. Apologize for being a little behind. We got caught in traffic coming back from Hendersonville, and I ain't got a helicopter yet. So soon, maybe soon that's coming. Okay.
There you go. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Jack, can you shut it down?
So, what he was sharing, this is his board, so I'll put it on the